Hi, my name is Kelly Meyer. I'm going to be talking, this is Marcia, and I'm going to be talking a little bit today about the prayer or La Oración by Antonio Parreiras. Here is the painting. It was painted in 1900. It is currently exhibited in a small museum in the artist's name in his hometown, Niterói, Brazil. So a little bit about Antonio. Here he is, Antonio Parreiras, born in Brazil in 1860, and he actually died there. He did leave the country several times and went to Europe to study art, and actually had some exhibitions in the Salon in Paris. He studied at the academy in Rio de Janeiro called, in English, the Imperial Academy for the Beautiful Arts. He was there at age 22, and he was only there for about 2 years. He left because he felt the academy made it difficult for him to be creative. Upon leaving the academy, he met a German painter who was visiting Brazil. His name was George Grimm. And George Grimm was actually part of the Impressionist movement over in Europe at the time, he himself being a graduate of the academy in Europe. And he met Antonio Parreiras and they began to work together. He taught Antonio about Impressionism, and actually told him to forget all of the ways of the academy and work with loose brushstrokes and light. So upon seeing this painting, The Prayer, I immediately thought of The Gleaners by Jean-Francois Millet. We have a high horizon line, very pale, kind of bleak. These figures are very dark against the pale background and muted palette. So we know that The Gleaners is part of the realism movement, because it was a little earlier. But also the painting made me think of The Poppy Field or Poppies by Claude Monet. I apologize, this is a very poor image, because of the loose brush strokes, especially within the trees, within the field, the grass. It's very in the moment. Interestingly enough, Antonio Parreiras actually worked a lot with plein air painting with George Grimm, which of course we know is part of Impressionism. So when it comes to this painting, here we are again. I feel that it falls in between these two categories. Of course, it's hard to say because the movements that we have made as art historians don't always cover a worldwide spectrum. And so, of course, Antonio Parreiras, being a Brazilian painter, was not exactly following the art scene going on in Western Europe at the time. So he doesn't exactly follow one or the other, but he was a self-proclaimed impressionist. So we'll go with that. A few details on the painting. I do love the use of darks and lights. The darks kind of hidden in the corn stalks, the dark of the figure, the dark of the cross. It kind of brings the eyes across the painting. Don't you see that? But as well as the lights on top, these beautiful leaves, these corn husks, whatever it may be, whatever crop that is, I'm not sure, just kind of glinting, catching the light, that impressionist feel of moving light, as well as little rocks at the base of the cross at this burial mound. Also, I love up here we have once again a high horizon line, which made me think of The Gleaners. But this technique, this sfumato technique, the application of that here is beautiful. It feels very warm and hazy. It feels like a hot summer day, and this figure here is traveling along this road and stops to see perhaps someone they knew in life, maybe not. And it makes me think of, this quaint, quiet moment, and of course to reflect on the title of the piece, The Prayer, just taking that moment to reconnect with yourself, with perhaps a deceased one, or with God. But I love this painting. When I saw it, I was immediately drawn to it, that I can just feel it. I feel like I'm here. And that's it. This is The Prayer or La Oración by Antonio Parreiras, 1900. Here are a couple of references. and please do look at more of his things. They're wonderful. Thank you.